What's up? What's up? Hope everyone's doing good. Man, it has been a while. I am currently out here in beautiful Oregon, and this load actually that I have on me actually don't deliver until in the morning, so I just ate some lunch, eggs, yogurt, pretzels. Man, those are off the chain. But yeah, so I'm just gonna chill out here for the night, relax, go take me a shower here in a little bit, and get ready to start my day tomorrow. Got 2 stops, one here in Oregon and the next one in Washington. So let's pray they go smooth sailing. The reason for this video, so I got an email from this company that I had originally was going to go to, and yeah, so I saw that they're out recruiting or whatever, and maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't, but so it's Viking Transport out of Chicago, Illinois. Don't do it if you're thinking about it. I done it, not for long, and I'm gonna tell you that story right now. So I'm on Google looking, because I was at my home job, my local job, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back on the road to make some money. So I find Viking Transport out of Chicago, Illinois. Okay, apparently there's another Viking Transport somewhere else. I'm not speaking on them, I'm speaking on the one in Chicago, Illinois. Okay, so I find them. There's a number on there. Call us for driving opportunities. Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. So what really attracted me to them was, like, they do 3 weeks out and 1 full 7 days home. And I was like, shoot, you know, that's real good, because normally with over the road companies you get like a day home for every week that you're out. I personally don't like that, but you know, it is what it is while you're out here. So when I call them, okay, so I'm getting more information about them, speaking to this girl, and she was like, yeah, we can get you out here, we'll fly you out here. We don't do orientation. You must have at least 2 years experience. That's why we don't do orientation, because with 2 years experience you should know how to drive, blah blah blah. You get out here, you do your paperwork, we put you in the truck, you start. Okay, we're gonna start you out at 55 cents a mile. I said, hell yeah, 55 cents a mile. Okay, cool, I like that. Even with 2 years experience, majority of the time you're gonna get started at what, 40 to 46 cents a mile normally. And I know before you start commenting, I know there's other places that pays more with less experience, or pays more with 2 years experience. I know. I'm saying the majority is 40 to like 46, if I'm not wrong. So 55 cents a mile, fly you out here, no orientation, do some paperwork, on your way you go, start making killer money. Hell yeah, sign me up. Okay, so I fly out, they fly me out there. My bad, let me step back. So they're like, okay, well, email me your job history, where you work, you know, such and such, so we can verify it. All right, so this was the first kind of red flag, because I sent them all of my driving, all of my driving history since I've had my CDLs. And they said, okay, well, we got to verify this. Okay, well, I've dealt with several other companies, and they don't verify anything in 30, 45 minutes. Okay, so one of the companies that I drove for, matter of fact, it's one of the ones that I drove for the longest before my local job, are no longer in business. Matter of fact, you know, the owner no longer has it. There's no number to get up with him and all this. And every company that I have put in for, when I mention, or when I put in that driving history, they call and ask me about it because they've never been able to get up with him to verify my driving. But I still put it in there because I was over the road with him. So, okay. I email them the information, expecting to hear from them the next day or two. No. When I tell you, they contacted me in about 45 minutes and was like, okay, hey, we can fly you out. All of your driving history checked out. Everything's good. I was like, wait, so did you call and verify all my driving? She's like, yeah, it was called and everything was verified. You're good. So I'm telling you, if you want to go to them and you don't have 2 years experience is what they asked for, you could probably still go out there with 2 months experience, because I don't think they check job history, because like I said, they didn't ask me about that person, and there's no way in 45 minutes they called and got verification. I don't believe so. I don't know. But I do know that they didn't get verification from one of the people I drove for because of where he's at right now. You don't just call and get that kind of information. But anyway, so first red flag. All right, so we head. So they get my plane ticket, all that. I fly out to Chicago, Illinois. All right, second red flag I thought was a little fishy, but nothing too major. So the next morning at my motel, they're like, hey, someone will be by at 10 o'clock in the morning to pick you up. Okay. Young guy, like 19, 20, pulls up in a beat up pickup truck. He's one of the mechanics. And he's like, hey, I'm here to pick you up. And I was like, you know, normally it's an Uber or a company van or something. But no, beat up pickup truck, which I'm, you know, it's whatever. Throw my stuff in the truck. We head over. All right, well, their office is a garage. Nothing up on the walls. Basically just a desk in this room right beside the mechanic shop. So I was like, okay, well, this is a little weird. But it's whatever. I'm ready to start running, driving. Alright, so I met the owner, and that's another thing. I think they're Russian. I'm not 100% sure about it. I know they're not American originally, but okay, so because they all spoke very little English. And so I met the owner. Now, I tell you, a family runs this business. I'm talking the owner, his two cousins are the mechanics. No. Yeah. Two cousins are the mechanics. His sister is the one that does the recruiting, which she's nice to look at. Yeah, she was pretty. And yeah, so it's him, his two cousins, and her. No joke. So I had to fill out some paperwork. So he comes in there and he shakes my hand, says, you know, it's good to meet you, blah, blah, blah. This is how me and you are going to make money. I was like, okay. Well, first he was like, all right, so I'm going to, he said, how much sleep do you need a night? He said, on average. I was like, I don't know. It varies differently. Sometimes I'm more tired one day than I am the other. Some days I can go without going to sleep at all and start driving, or some days I need 2 or 3 hours of sleep, start driving. Sometimes I need 6 to 8 hours to start driving. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. And he was like, well, this is what I'm going to do. He said, I can go on my computer and fix your clock for you where you never have to stop driving. And I was like, no. Because that goes on, if something was to go wrong or they find it out, whatever, that goes on me. That goes on my license, my DAC report or whatever. So I was like, no, Anyway, he's like, we'll work it out. He was like, because I think you only need about 2 or 3 hours of sleep and then you're fully equipped, especially being as young as you are. Okay. Well then, so we're talking, and he was like, hey, I'm going to fill out some paperwork, or I'm going to type up some paperwork. I want you to sign it to make you more money. We're going to make it like you're buying the truck. Make it like you're buying the truck to make more money. He said, this will make you more money. You do a 1099. And I said, no. Let me stick to company. I don't want to do 1099. I don't want to sign any papers saying that I'm buying this truck. All right, so again, he was like, hey, we'll work that out. I said, there ain't nothing to work out. Company driver, And he was like, hey, Anyway, so he takes me around back of the garage. There's this beat up POS truck out there, 2014. The passenger side front bumper is off. Someone has sprayed it with spray paint on the side of the truck. Volvo, and which I have nothing against Volvos. I actually, I don't mind them, but man, I was like, this ain't good. Anyway, so I get in it, crank it up, put my stuff in it. Well, the air is not running. I was like, man, this don't have any air in it. And now this is July. It was hot. And I was like, man, this don't have any air in it. And he was like, well, the mechanic, his cousin, comes out there and he's like, yeah, man, the truck ain't been crunking about a month, so just let it sit for a minute and it'll kick on. It just takes a little bit. I was like, whatever. So well, he gives me my load. I pick up a load out of Chicago, Illinois, and I leave, right? I hit the road. I go pick up a load in Chicago, gotta deliver it in Ohio the next afternoon. So I go do it, deliver it at like 11 o'clock in the morning. Oh, that's what I forgot. And the recruiter, the dispatcher is his brother. So, yeah. That's what I was forgetting, because his dispatcher is his brother. Because they gave me this long spiel about how the family come together, built this empire, gonna take over the world. Batman ain't got nothing on him, Superman. No, I'm just playing. But, yeah, so it's all family, and his brother is the dispatcher. One dispatcher, and it's his brother. I'm pretty sure he only had one driver, and that was me for that day. But so I'm gonna try to speed this up a little bit. But I go deliver that load the next morning, call his brother, and I'm like, hey, that load's delivered, but this air in this truck isn't working. I woke up this morning burning up. I need someone look at this truck. Yeah. So we get off the phone, he sends me a text, and he was like, hey, being that, because this was on Tuesday, and 4th of July was the weekend coming up. And he was like, hey, being that it's 4th of July weekend, I may not can get you a load until the following Monday or Tuesday. I said, 6 or 7 days. So I go to this Love's, and I pull in and stop over there in Ohio. And I was like, well, hey, I need someone to come look or fix this air for me because I can't sleep. I'm burning up. And he was like, oh, well, you're going to have to call whatever the owner's name is and ask him about it. I said, okay. So I get the number. I call him. And he was like, oh, well, being that it's 4th of July weekend, I let the mechanics off until Tuesday of next week. And I was like, well, are you going to put me up in a motel or what? He was like, no. Anyway, so we kind of exchanged words on the phone, and I was like, I am not staying in this truck with no air. I don't know what you expect me to do, but I'm not staying in this truck. So then I was already irritated because they wanted me to sit for 6 or 7 days with no loads, and on top of that, being a truck with no air. 2014 truck, time to upgrade. I think it's 14, yeah. So I called him and he didn't answer, so I sent him a text and I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to the house if someone don't come and fix the air in this truck or figure something out, put me in a room. And this was the next day. And what really got me was he was like, he had the nerve, he was like, you're not going to leave that truck there. So I was like, oh, first off, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'll leave this truck here. And so that's what I did. I called an Uber, got a ride to the bus station. I bought a bus going home. Sent them a text and I was like, hey, I begged someone to come fix this air. No luck. Y'all ignored me. I asked to be put in a motel. No luck. Y'all ignore me. I said, so just let you know, your truck's locked up. It's off of such and such exit in Ohio. The key's under the step. Just let you know it's there. After that text is sent, I get a text message from the dispatcher that's like, hey, found you a load, picks up this afternoon. And now, mind you, this is after I done sent the text saying that I was at the bus station headed home. So I texted him and I said, I don't work for y'all anymore, blah, blah, blah. So a week goes by, I'm at the house, a week goes by, and I get a text message from the owner, and he was like, hey, just to let you know, I'm putting an abandonment on your record. Good luck finding another trucking job. I said, hey, just to let you know, I've got every text message, I've got the text messages where you were explaining how you was going to corrupt the clock so I can keep driving. I got the text message of, you want me to stay in this truck with no air. I said, so do what you got to do. Get me with abandonment. And I said, and I'll have that whole place shut down. Not that I really would have, because I don't know if I could have, but I did have text messages where he was trying to explain to me what I'd have to go to send him my log so he could fix it where I could keep driving. I still got all those text messages. But anyway, so 3 months later, and I still, July, August, Okay, so 2 or 3 months later, and I still don't have a abandonment on my record. And but yeah, so just in case you find them, and listen, I have no reason to make this up. If you think that I'm lying about it, do me a favor, Google Viking Transport, Chicago, Illinois. Call them, talk to them, get them out there, let them get you out there. He'll go over the same spiel. You'll meet him. The only best thing about him is his sister that works in the office, and then you'll see from there that I'm not lying. I have nothing to lie about. So they emailed me, so I know that they've probably reached out to other people, and that's why I made this video. Anyway, that's my story with my one load and 2 days with Viking Transport out of Chicago, Illinois. Hope y'all enjoyed that story. And yeah, so be careful who you go to. Make sure you do some background, because I didn't. And as always, I'll see y'all later. And Hakuna Matata means no worries.